Hello everyone, this is question 16 on paper 2 from 2022 for Edexcel, and we've got a parametric, A-star parametric question. So it says figure 6 shows a sketch of a curve C with parametric equations x equals 2 tan t add 1 and y equals 2 sec squared t add 3. The line L is normal to C at the point P where t is equal to pi over 4. Use parametric differentiation to show that the equation for L is that. 5 marks. Okay, that's quite nice for a last question on a paper. So parametric differentiation. So what we're going to be doing in this question is we're going to be aiming to show that dy by dx, our gradient, is going to be dy by dt times by dt by dx. Okay. So therefore, let's write down our y parametric and let's write down our x parametric and differentiate them both. So we've got 2 sec squared t add 3 is our y, and our x is equal to 2 tan t plus 1. Okay, so differentiating first of all the x, so that's going to give us that dx by dt is going to equal 2 sec squared t. Okay, so 2 sec squared t, because tan differentiates into sec squared and the 1 disappears. For y, I'm going to rewrite this as 2 times by sec t all squared plus 3. Now when I differentiate this, that's going to go to dy by dt is going to equal 2 times by 2 sec t. And then you've got to times that by the derivative of the inner function, and sec differentiates into sec tan. So that goes to sec t tan t, and the 3 disappears. Okay, so that now means that dy by dt is equal to 4 sec squared t tan t. Okay, so that is our dy by dt. Perfect. So now we're going to use the chain rule up here to find out our expression for our dy by dx. Dy by dx is dy by dt times by dt by dx. So dy by dx is equal to our dy by dt, which is 4 sec squared t tan t, all times by our dt over dx, which is 1 over dx by dt. So that is going to be over sec squared t, like that. Okay. All right, that's perfect. So what's going to happen now is our sec squared is going to cancel there and there, leaving us with 4 tan t as our dy by dx. Now we're told that we're at the point where t is equal to pi over 4. So let's sub that in order to, oh actually it's 4 over 2. So that is going to go to 2 tan t. Okay, so 4 over 2, so 2 tan t. Now we're going to sub in pi over 4. And at pi over 4, we're going to have 2 times by tan of pi over 4. Tan of pi over 4, let's have a look and see what that is. So I get my calculator and I go tan of pi over 4, close bracket. Tan of pi over 4 is 1. So I've got 2 times 1, so it's 2. Now that, remember, is the gradient of the tangent, but we're after finding the equation of the normal. So therefore our gradient of our normal, so gradient of normal, is going to be negative the reciprocal, so it's going to be minus a half. Okay. Now we need to know the coordinate of the point P. At the moment we don't. We just know it happens when t is equal to pi over 4. So we need to go to our x equation and have 2 times tan of pi over 4 plus 1. Tan of pi over 4 we've established is 1, so therefore x is going to be equal to 3. So x is going to equal 3 there. Let's do the same now with the y. Y is equal to 2 sec squared t add 3. So y is going to equal 2 times sec squared pi over 4 add 3. Okay, now what is sec? Sec is 1 over cos. So let's work out what cos of pi over 4 is. So cos of pi over 4, is root 2 over 2, or 1 over root 2. So we've got 2 times by 1 over 1 over root 2 squared plus 3. Okay, so what we've got here is 1 over root 2 squared is going to be 1 over a half, and 1 over a half is 2, and 2 times 2 is 4. So that is 4 add 3, so therefore the y value is 7. Okay, so our y value is equal to 7. So we've now got the point and we've got our gradient. So we've got everything that we need to find our equation now of our normal. So finding the equation of the normal then, let's have a look. We've got y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. Y is 7. The gradient is minus a half x, and our value of x is 3, like so. So we can now just, hopefully this is now going to work out. It's looking pretty encouraging so far, I think. So that's going to be plus 3 over 2. So we're going to have y is therefore equal to minus a half x, and 3 over 2 adds 7. So we're going to have 3 over 2, and we're going to add 7 to it, which gives us 17 over 2. So that is plus 17 over 2, and I'm going to write as required. As we're required. Okay, that's perfect. So that's part A done. Let's just review the steps. We basically used the chain rule to find dy by dx. Then once we'd found out dy by dx, we took negative the reciprocal of that because we wanted the gradient of the normal, not the gradient of the tangent. We then took the value of the parameter, pi over 4, subbed it into our x parametric and our y parametric in order to find the coordinates of the point P. We then used the equation of a line in order to find the equation of L, the normal to the curve at the point P. Now, part B. Show that all points on C satisfy that equation there. So we've got a Cartesian equation. Y is equal to a half times by x minus 1 all squared add 5. So we've got to go from parametric now to Cartesian. So when we've got trig, we're going to be using some kind of identity to do this. And if I have a look at what we've got sec squared and we've got tan. So let's consider what identity we could possibly use. Now, personally, I don't remember these off the top of my head. I kind of like derive them. So I'm going to start off with sine squared add cos squared is equal to 1. I'm going to divide both sides, everything by cos squared. So that gives me tan squared plus 1 is equal to sec squared. And you can see there I've got an identity that connects tan and sec squared. So that's going to be really useful because our parametric equations are in terms of tan and sec. Okay, so using the x parametric, if I take 1 off both sides, divide by 2 and square it, so in other words, if I write x minus 1 divided by 2 all squared, then that is my x parametric rearranged. Okay, so what I've done there is I've taken x is equal to 2 tan t add 1, subtracted 1 off both sides, divided by 2, and that's given me tan t. So I've just rearranged the x parametric to get that identity there. So we've got that one, add 1 is equal to sec squared. Now sec squared from the parametric equation is just going to be y minus 3 all divided by 2. Just rearranging to make sec squared the subject there. So this is looking good now because we've basically used this identity to change it from parametric into Cartesian. So now it's just going to be a question of rearranging this whole thing. So let's see what's going to happen. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to write that as x minus 1 all squared, and I'm going to take out a factor of a half squared. Okay, so basically when you take that half out squared, it's going to become a quarter. Okay, plus 1 is equal to y minus 3 over 2. I'm going to times everything by 2 now, so that's going to become a half x minus 1 all squared plus 2 is equal to y minus 3. And then I'm going to add 3 to both sides now to make y the subject. Okay, so when I do that, I get that y is equal to 1/2 x plus 1 all squared. x plus 1 all squared. No, x minus 1, I'm sorry. So that is x minus 1 all squared. Just get that correct. X minus 1 all squared. X minus 1 all squared. There we go, that's better. And then we're adding 3 to both sides, so it's going to be plus 5. So that's our equation. Y is equal to a half x minus 1 all squared, add 5 as required. So that was only 2 marks, but that was part B done. Right, what's next? So the next bit, it says, now this bit, I've seen them. This is the third, I think this is like the 3rd time I've seen a variant of this question. So really popular idea here. They like this bit. And bear in mind, do bear in mind, this is the last part, okay, of the last question on the paper. So this is like an A-star kind of concept. And I think every time I've seen this come up, it's always come up kind of like, you know, as a last part of a last question. So what does it say? This is going to be really important, this bit. The straight line with the equation y is equal to minus a half x add k, where k is a constant, intersects c at 2 distinct points. Find the range of possible values for k. Now, if you imagine we've got a line which has a gradient of minus a half add k. So let's imagine that is one possible line there, where it just touches there as a tangent, okay? Now, if the value of k is greater than that value, we're going to get 2 solutions, all the way up until we get to this point here, at which, that's the world's dodgiest line I've drawn, but at this point here, where you can see that we have 2 solutions. So everywhere in this narrow band of values of k, there are going to be 2 solutions, okay? 2 points of intersection between that line and that curve. So what we need to do then is a number of different things. First of all, let's think about, what can we say? If we put the equation of the line equal to the equation of the curve, then that's going to give us a quadratic, and setting that quadratic equal to 0 is going to give us one of the points. It's going to give us this point here, the tangent. Okay, so let's put the equation of the line, so minus a half x plus k is equal to a half x minus 1 all squared plus 5. Okay, so basically I've put the line and the curve equal to each other. I'm going to expand this whole thing now, get a quadratic, and once I've got that quadratic, I'm then going to evaluate the discriminant. So we've got minus a half x plus k. When I expand this, I get a half, open bracket, x squared minus 2x add 1 plus 5. Okay, I'm going to now double everything. So minus x plus 2k is equal to x squared minus 2x plus 1 plus 10. From here, let's get everything over one side. So I've got x squared there. I'm going to say minus x because I add x to both sides. I'm going to say I've got over here plus 11 minus 2k equals 0. Okay, so that's my quadratic equation. So that is my a is equal to 1, my b is equal to minus 1, and my c is equal to 11 minus 2k. So let's evaluate the discriminant as being equal to 0 now. So b squared minus 4ac is going to be minus 1 all squared minus 4 times a, which is 1, times by c, which is 11 minus 2k. And we're setting this equal to 0 for a tangent, okay? So that is going to be 1 minus 4 times 1 times 11 is going to be minus 44. And then a minus times a minus is going to make a plus 8k. Okay, perfect. So that is equal to 0. 1 minus 44 is minus 43. Plus 8k equals 0. So therefore 8k is equal to 43. So therefore k is equal to 43 over 8. Now that's one of our values, okay? So if k is, so when k is 43 over 8, the line is a tangent. But notice we're looking for that there are 2 distinct solutions. So what we're saying is that we've identified so far that k must be greater than 43 over 8. Okay, and just to review what's happened here, we've put the equation of the line equal to the equation of the curve, and we've basically got a quadratic, and we've evaluated the discriminant being equal to 0 in order to have a tangent between the line and the curve. That's given us a value of k of 43/8, and because we need two solutions, we've said that k must be greater than that. Now, let's turn our end to, so that we've dealt with this side, let's turn our attention now to the other side here. Now, the key here is, notice this point that I'm pointing to with a pencil is the point at which the curve is going to stop intersecting twice, and from there on out it will only intersect once. Now, we're given in the question that the range of values of t is from -π/4 all the way up to π/3. So this value here is going to be when t is equal to -π/4. So let's use that to work out what our values of x and y are at this point here. Okay, so our x is going to equal 2 times by tan of -π/4 plus 1, okay? Which is going to be, that's going to be 2 times by -1, because tan of -π/4 is -1. So that is going to be -2 plus 1. So x is going to equal -1 at that point. Let's see what our y value is going to equal. So y is going to equal 2 lots of sec squared t add 3. So y is going to equal 2 times sec of, let's just have a look at that. So sec is 1 over cos. So I want to do cos of -π/4. Cos of -π divided by 4. Cos of -π/4 is √2/2 again. So we need to square that answer, okay, which gives us a half. So that is what we have for cos. So cos is equal to a half, but we've got 1 over that. So that is going to equal 1 over a half. So that's going to be 2. So in other words, sec squared of π/4 -π/4 is 2. Okay, so that means we've got 2 times 2 add 3, so it's going to be 4 add 3, so y is 7. So we found out that at this point here at the end of the equation that we've got y is equal to -1 and x is -1 and y is 7. Now we know that the gradient is y is equal to a half, minus a half. So therefore we can say that if we write down y is equal to -1/2 x add k, and we sub in the point that we've just got, then we'll be able to find the value of k at which this happens. So 7 is equal to -1/2 times by x, which is -1, plus k. So therefore 7 is equal to a half plus k. So therefore k is equal to 7 minus a half. No, sorry, it's going to, k is going to equal 7 minus a half, which is going to give us that k is equal to 13/2. Okay, so therefore k is equal to 13/2. Now let's just check and see what's going on with that. Yeah, so k is equal to 13/2. Now let me just double check that this is making sense. So k is equal to 13/2. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, so therefore now that means that our range of values of the constant k is that k needs to be less than or equal to 13/2, but it needs to be greater than or equal to 43/8. And that is our range of values of k. All right, so that is the, but as I say, that last idea there for part C of this question is very, very popular. They seem to like that. It seems to be a really good one. They've decided for like kind of helping to kind of like separate students from one another. So that's our range of possible values of k. Perfect. Well, I hope that you found that helpful. If you're enjoying these videos, do remember to like and subscribe. That's going to help me to grow the channel and keep on making more videos. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.